have a problem.
Hey there, Jen. I always have a problem. As you know, I am not on the YouLi platform right now. I'm on my own thing that I've built. And it's working well. It's super and everything for what I need. People are registering and money's coming in. And then I have to take that information and I bring it over to my QuickBooks and I register them and do all that stuff there. And then every time they make payments, I have to go back and forth and back and forth to make sure that everything stays in line, which has been fine because I've only been doing a few trips a year. But now things are getting crazy. And I'm just wondering if there's a better way to do this. And I hear that Yuli might have a better solution. And part of it is, my people want nice looking invoices. And right now I can do that in QuickBooks, but there's got to be a better way. So what do you got?
Well, the problem with doing it out of QuickBooks is often those are sort of static invoices, right? So not only do you have to make them by hand, but they are what they are. And often it can be a bit challenging to make changes, especially once they have made full payment on those invoices. And so it also means that anytime they want to make a change, they have to call you to
Right.
make that change, right? So there's no way for them to add something on and then just pay you for that add on, right? So I'm going to show you how you can do this with a YouLi trip page, sometimes called a traveler portal because it includes a lot of things with the itinerary, who's going, your invoice, WhatsApp linkage, lots of stuff. We're focused today on just the invoice experience here. So we've got someone, Tara, she's booked in to the couples package Ocean View. Now, this invoice was automatically generated for her when she registered. So no need for you to go and create that in your QuickBooks. But when that was created, there's the option for you to enable automation so that does go create another invoice in your accounting platform or in QuickBooks. And I know that might feel a little unintuitive, but often when you get into these automation flows, you can actually end up with multiple versions of your invoice in different systems for different purposes. So this is for your traveler. The invoice that gets created in QuickBooks is for you, your accountant, your bookkeeper, to make sure that you're tax compliant and your books are looking good. But this is what Tara wants to see. She wants to have the option to know what add-ons has she done, and to see what payments that have been made here, and to know that she's fully paid on in this case and having gone through different installments. And you don't see this here, but actually other people on this trip would have had different installment plans, and those would have been auto-generated unique payment schedules for each of those people. So that's another advantage of having these kinds of dynamic invoices that the customer sees as compared to those static ones that you're making by hand in QuickBooks.
Okay. So this right now, she's all paid and this is zero. So this invoice is closed, right? So what happens if Mr. Banks wants to add that hot air balloon ride on? Do I have to create another invoice?
So again, because the invoice here in YouLi is actually dynamic, as long as this is before the registration date and as long as there's capacity, because you can set limits there, Tara or Mr. Banks can come in and add him on to the hot air balloon ride. And then we can see that it dynamically figures out that now they owe $500. And so that's falling down to the balance. And then that's allowing me to pick a payment option and then go through to pay now. So this is how she gets to make sure that her husband gets to enjoy that hot air balloon ride without having to call you and make you go do that extra admin. And depending on how you set up your automation, if it's really simple, then when that payment comes through, that's going to automatically make an invoice to match that money that's coming maybe through from Stripe so that you can account for that $500 that's coming in and account for the surcharge that's sitting on top of it. So you can make sure that all gets put into the right accounts in QuickBooks automatically for you. So yes, it will make another invoice for you, but that'll just happen automatically based on the rules that have been set up for the automation.
Great. One last question. I'm actually thinking of getting rid of QuickBooks next year and moving over to another platform. Is that going to screw things up, or does Julie interface with other platforms?
That's such a good question. I know that QuickBooks is very popular in the US right now, but Xero is gaining traction. So I know some of you might be thinking about a switch, or some of you who are coming off of spreadsheets and looking for one, you might go to Xero instead of going to QuickBooks. And we work with any of those online accounting platforms. I think Zoho is also another one that's out there. So any of the online accounting systems we can integrate into, and we can support some really interesting automations, which we might cover in an upcoming version of Solving Group Travel Problems with Nick and Jen.
Excellent. I know I'm going to have more questions, so I'll catch you next time when I've got new questions.
Thanks, Nick.
See you, Jen. Bye now.